I'm fed up with changes. Come pick me up cause I just wanna see the light. I wanna be weightless.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been like literally so long since I've made a video. I don't know. But I was thinking of this video for a while and I just wanted to share with you guys how I was able to get my baby to sleep through the night at only 4 weeks old. So it didn't really happen like we weren't trying necessarily to do anything specifically, but one night she just randomly slept through the night, and then ever since then she has slept through the night. But I have some tips and I want to share with you guys what we did because I think it was really helpful, and a lot of that I think played into how we got her to sleep through the night. So I want to start off by saying that she was like breastfed for, I don't know, now maybe a week or two, but it wasn't really just working out, so I ended up just exclusively pumping and then just giving her her milk through a bottle. So that's what we've done. The first thing that I think is most important is that we put her in her crib, in her own room, in her crib at a very young age. So when she was first born, up until 2 weeks, we kept her in our bedroom at the bedside in a bedside bassinet, which was super helpful. It was just one of those bassinets that come right up to the bedside and has the flap open down, so it's literally like level with your bed, and you can just reach over, grab the baby, and do whatever you need to do. And I thought that was really helpful. But the thing with, I think, the baby sleeping in your room with you, and everyone has their way of doing things. If that's what you do and that's what works best for you, then that works best for you. But I'm just saying from my experience what we did and why I think it helped. I think there's, like, even with your baby sleeping with you, it could wake you up. Just babies make a lot of just like little noises throughout the night, and as they get older they toss and turn and just everything. But also, like, if you're making noise or if you get up to go to the bathroom or something, then that could wake the baby up. So I just think it's best, in my opinion, for our sake, we just thought it was best to keep her in her bed, her crib, in her own bedroom, like her own space, and it just worked out really well for us. So we put her in her own crib in her own room at 2 weeks old. We have a like blackout, not a curtain, it's like a shade that you pull down. I really like those shades, by the way, because it doesn't have the strings that you have to pull. Like, you literally just can push it up and then pull it down. It's so easy. It's so like baby friendly because you don't have to worry about the strings dangling and it being any kind of like safety hazard or anything like that. So we put her in her own room, in her crib, and before I get into all that, well, we always swaddled our daughter from the very first day. First, like in the hospital, we used the blankets the first day, but I think like that first night I used a swaddle. I'm going to show you the ones that I have. The ones that I started out with, I really did not end up liking at all. So this is what we used in the hospital. I used this for, I think, 3 weeks, maybe 4. Like, as soon as she started sleeping through the night, we were using the other one the first day. So these are the ones that Velcro, which is nice, and everything. And it also, I think you can keep them, like, I forget. You can keep them swaddled up top, like have their arms in, and like for a diaper change you can, like in the middle of the night, you can do this. And then, but do you see how loud it is? Like, I think that kind of just defeats the whole like purpose. Like, I mean, granted, when you're doing the diaper change, like, they're awake, but like probably gonna wake them up even more. Like, they might still be like sleepy. I don't know. I just didn't like it for that part. or if she was like sleepy and then she like pooped and I could tell, and I was like, oh, I have to change her diaper and I have to unswaddle her. Like, I just remember that being such a hassle, and I just hated it with these. And then also with these, they always would like ride up like on her chin, or they would be like too far down and her arms would slip out. And I did not like these. I really thought I was gonna like them. I bought a lot of these and I just didn't. So we stopped using those. And then we started using the Swaddle Me. What are these called? Swaddles. Zip swaddles. So this is the newborn one. It's so small. Whenever she was in it, I just thought she looked like a little peanut. So I always call this like the little peanut swaddle. It's so small and so cute. It tells you on the tag, or at least I thought. I know that you can go online too. This just says newborn, but I think on the other ones it tells you the weight. These are the Love to Dream swaddles. I don't know if this one is. This one's the Swaddle Me, and this one is, the other ones that I have are Love to Dream. This was newborn. I can't remember how long she used this up until, I want to say, about like 2 months maybe, and that was like stretching it, because you see how small this is. But I mean, it fit fine on her, and it was snug and it was nice. She loved that. And then I had the Love to Dream swaddles, which we used next. These were really nice too. She would just sleep like this, and it was nice. These were good. I really loved these, and these were like super nice because they had the two-way zipper, so you can just literally pop their legs out and it's not loud and obnoxious, and they'll probably stay asleep. So I love the Love to Dream swaddles. So nice. So she stayed in that one until, I want to say, like 4 months, and she could have stayed in it even longer. This size is a size small, and it goes from 8 to 13 pounds. This is the other one we started using after we stopped that one. So you want to stop using the swaddles where their arms are like completely constricted until like, so once they can roll over, you want to stop using those. And then you can go to like either a sleep sack or like a sleep suit. So we did use this little sleep suit. It also has it has zip on. These arms can come off, so you could literally do like free hands, or you could do one in, one out, or has a little mitten thing, so if you don't want their hands out, you can keep their hands in. And then it also had the ones where they could keep their arms up, so they had different like attachments to this. And then this also has the little covers over the feet, so you can either keep their feet like have like footies, or you can pop their feet out. And this also has the two-way zipper. We used this for a little while, and then we just switched over to the sleep sack. So this is one I have. This one's just from Old Navy. It's just a fleece, but I have other ones and they work really well. We love those. She is 9 months now, and she still uses the sleep sack just because it helps so that she doesn't have to use a blanket, and yeah, because they can't have a blanket in there. And then another thing while I'm talking about blankets is the temperature of the room. So we keep our upstairs like really cold at like 65 degrees, but it's been that way since she's been a newborn. I think it may have been a little bit cooler. No, maybe like 68. But they will adjust and adapt, like just dress them warmer or whatever the case is. But it's honestly so much better to sleep in a cooler environment. You get much better sleep, and it's just all around better. I can't remember like what the suggested like temperature is. I know it starts at 64 and goes up to like, I don't know, like 70 something, 75 maybe, but 70 is just too warm for me, and she sleeps great. So I just dress her warm. I put her in a like heavier sleep sack or a fleece sleep sack, or put her in footies. I always put her in footies and in socks, because she was not sleeping in socks, and she would wake up and her feet would be so cold even though she'd had the footies on. So I always put socks over it, and that helps a lot. I'm looking down because I have stuff written down that I don't want to miss. So when she first started sleeping through the night, like I said, she was only 4 weeks old. A lot of babies still wake up to feed, but she when she slept through the night, I was like, I'm not waking her up to feed her. She's gonna sleep through the night, then she's gonna sleep through the night. She would eat so well during the day, so I honestly wasn't worried about her not eating like through the night, and I wasn't gonna wake her up just so that she could eat even though she was sleeping, and wasn't really bothered. And she was gaining weight just fine. But of course, talk to your pediatrician and figure out what is best for you and your family. But I'm just telling you guys that's what we did. So she would wake up sometimes and cry in the middle of the night, and then we would just give her her pacifier and she'd go back to sleep. But if she would keep like spitting it out or like just didn't want it, then of course we would like get her up, either check her diaper, and then give her a bottle and feed her, and she would just go right back to sleep after she ate and she was content. And the pacifiers that we use, this is the Rose and Ryan one, and it's the flat one. She took this one for a while and really liked this one. This is the one that we always would put in the middle of the night, and she would go right back. Okay, there was just a fly. It's huge. She would go right back to sleep with this. She loved this. We would take this off at night just because I didn't want it to like cover her face somehow, and then like it be a like safety hazard. So I always took this off at night. But this is the Ryan and Rose Cutie Pat flat binky, and she loved this one. The other ones that worked well for us was this one, the bibs. She really liked these too. But I will say she did not take pacifiers for very long. She didn't take them during the day. She would only take them if she was like really tired and wanting to go to sleep. And then she would take this one. This is the one I used for her at the beginning when she was like a newborn for maybe like up to 2 weeks. I used this, and then I started using this one again. But she really doesn't take binkies, so she doesn't use them anymore. But when she was like first starting to sleep through the night and she would wake up, if she would wake up and cry, then we would just pop the binky in her mouth and she would go right back to sleep. So I talked about the blackout curtains. That really helps, is blacking out the room. Black out the room, black out the room, black out the room. I cannot say how much that helps. Blacking out the room, and then a sound machine. We use the Hatch Baby sound machine, and it is so good. You can connect it to your phone, so you can turn it on like on your phone, and you can adjust the settings and do anything you want from there. We just use, I think it's like a dryer sound, like tumbling, because I think it had like white noise or something, but I didn't like how it sounded. Oh, I know what it was. So we would sleep with a box fan on in our room, and that's the sound that my husband and I would like go to sleep to. So I was trying to find something similar to that since she was in our room with us, and we would use that. So I was trying to find something similar. So the one that I found was like the dryer tumbling, and that's what she uses, and it works great. And you want to put it on like fairly, not high, but like loud enough to where like if you're doing something downstairs, or like you have the TV on, or you're in the room next door, they're not going to wake up. Like the sound is going to be enough to drown out the other outside noise. During the day, typically I'll turn it up high, like the volume up higher, just because I'm doing more during the day and I don't want to wake her up like for naps. I'm distracted because I can hear her upstairs. She's supposed to be in bed sleeping, but she's just, oh my gosh, that fly is huge. Okay, but so I'm distracted by the fly, and I'm distracted by my baby. She's kicking, I can hear her kicking the bed and then just talking, like screaming, but she's like not crying. The sound machine, so I will turn it up higher during the day, the sound, just because I'm doing more, and then at night I'll turn it down a little bit less, but I think I usually keep it at like 35. the sound, it goes from like 0 to 100, so I usually keep it at like 35, and that works well for us. What else? So my daughter would always take a bottle to go to sleep when she was from like a newborn up until like I'm trying to remember, like 3 months at least. I would always hold her in the rocking chair, feed her with the bottle, just rock her, and she would fall asleep on me. I'd hold her for a little bit, make sure she was really asleep, and then I would put her down. I know a lot of people suggest putting the baby in the crib or whatever when they're like drowsy but awake, and that just helps with them being able to fall asleep on their own, and so that way they're not dependent on you holding them to sleep. But that worked for us fine, me holding her to sleep and then putting her in there when if she would, and when she would wake up, she would just go back to sleep. So we never really had an issue with that. And then around like 4 months, she just didn't want me to hold her anymore. She didn't want to be rocked to sleep. She wanted to basically like put herself to sleep, and she could hold her bottle but not very well, and that's how she went to sleep, was holding a bottle. So I was just like, oh my gosh, how's this gonna work? So I put her in her crib, and then I would prop her bottle up with a blanket, and mind you, we have a camera looking over her crib, so I was constantly watching it. And of course, sometimes it would fall and she would start crying, so I would just go back and give it to her, but she always has fallen asleep like that. It might not be the best thing, or I know doctors will not recommend that, but I'm just telling you that's what we did, and that's what has worked for us. She just loved taking a bottle to go to sleep. Ever since she was a newborn, honestly, that's how we always just got her to go to sleep. And that's, my mom said that's what I did when I was a baby too, so I turned out fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. And then once she would fall asleep, like be completely asleep, I would go and take the blanket out, of course. And then another thing is, so in her crib, we would use a Snuggle Me. This is what the Snuggle Me looks like. It has a cover over it, which you can wash. You can also wash this, which I've done. You don't have to buy the cover or have the cover, but it's softer than what the actual like Snuggle Me is, so I bought it, and she has slept in this up until she was 8 months. And then she kind of like grew out of it. She would keep like rolling, and then she would like flip herself out, so I was just like, okay, whatever. She really liked it. I would try and take it away and not have her sleep with it, and then like she would wake up in the middle of the night crying, and this was at like between like 5 and like 6, 7 months. I would take it out, and she just did not like it, so I always just put it back in because it helped her go to sleep and she liked it. I know that it's not recommended to have a baby sleep in the Snuggle Me in a crib or a bassinet, but even in the bassinet, she was sleeping in that. She's always slept in that. It just helps them to like feel cozy. Like it has these big sides, and then it just goes down to just sink in right here, and it just helps them feel like they're not just out in the open, like in the swaddle, and then in that, like they just feel secure and safe, I guess. And she loved that, and we used that, like I said, up until she was 8 months old, and then she was just like tossing and turning out of it, so I just took it out. I did buy the bigger one, but we haven't used that yet because it says that it has certain like height that they're supposed to be, and they're supposed to be able to crawl when they can use that bigger one too, so I haven't used it. She's not completely crawling yet, so haven't used that. I don't actually, maybe we won't even use it because she's so used to sleeping without it now, like she's fine. But that I feel like was such a lifesaver, and I think that helped us like just so much. But like I said, it's not recommended anywhere like from them at all that you sleep with it in the crib or in the bassinet or anywhere, leave them in it unattended. But I'm just telling you guys, like I said, what we did and what worked for us. She slept in it, she was fine, And I think what really helped me was that we also used the Owlet sock. So we had the Owlet sock and the Owlet camera, and it comes with a little like base thing, and we have that we had it in our room, but the light was like so bright and I can't sleep with any light. So I put it right outside our bedroom door in the hallway. So it has a base, you turn it on when the sock is on the baby, and then if anything's wrong, a like red alarm will go off. It's called a red alarm. The color on the base turns red, and then it's like a really like loud noise, and it'll go off. And then if you have it connected to your phone as well, then you get an alert to your phone, and it'll tell you like what's wrong. So there's that, and then there's also like a yellow alarm which goes off all the time, and it's just like a little like nursery rhyme. It doesn't go off all the time, but it goes off sometimes because the sock won't be on right, or like it won't be on tight enough. So it says misplaced, sock isn't placed right or something, please check sock. So then we just go in there and like tighten it. Or also I realized when her feet were really cold it wasn't reading, so that's why I also put socks on, and then the footies, and then she's in the sleep sack so her feet are nice and warm. So that really helped me, like, give me peace of mind, having that, knowing that, like, if she's stopped breathing for some reason, or, like, whatever the case may be, that would alarm and go off, and then I would know that something's wrong. I also always look on like the camera to see like what she's doing, like if she's okay, if she's crying, because I can hear her from my bedroom, but sometimes like if she's just awake she won't even cry, she'll just be laying there. So sometimes I like to see just whatever she's doing, and I think that also helped a lot. That way I didn't have to get up out of bed and go and check on her. I could look on the camera, and I also had peace of mind with the sock, knowing that if something was wrong it would go off. And I understand that that's not 100%, like things malfunction, so you can't like solely rely on that, but it definitely gave me peace of mind and really helped me to be able to sleep through the night. Like I feel like if we didn't have that, like I'm just like, how would I sleep through the night? I'd be just always going in there and checking on her because I'd be so scared. So that helped a lot, for our sake. And then so also to help the baby sleep through the night, have a bedtime routine. Probably should have started it sooner than we did, but I think she was maybe like 2 months old or something, and we started actually getting into a routine, and having a bedtime, taking a bath before bed, getting her all dressed and lotioned and everything like that, getting her in her jammies, getting in her swaddle or sleep sack, read a story or two, and then I would hold her, rock her in the chair, give her the bottle, and then as she got older I would just do the bath, the getting her dressed, all that, the stories, and then putting her in her crib with the bottle. And that's how she's fallen asleep. I don't know, I feel like that really helped us, is her falling asleep with the bottle, and that's just how she does it. She loves it. That just helped with us so much. Also, when I would give her a bottle, I would warm up the milk slightly warmer than I would during the day, just so it's like really warm, feels really warm in their tummy, and they're nice and cozy. I just thought that would help, so I just always have done that. So the things that I think really helped are the swaddles. Putting her in her own room, in her crib at 2 weeks old, I think helped so much. Having the sound machine, having the blackout curtains so the room's like completely dark, having that sound machine to drown out the noise coming from anywhere else in the house, the pacifier, popping that in when she would wake up like in the middle of the night crying or whatever, give that to her, and then she would fall right back asleep. And if she wouldn't, like I said, we would give her a bottle and change her diaper and check what else might be wrong. The Owlet camera and the Owlet sock, that didn't really help her, but it helped us have peace of mind, so we weren't like going in there and checking on her and possibly like waking her up. The bath and bedtime routine, I think, really helps, because then they start to get an idea, okay, like I'm getting a bath now, it's about to be time for bed, so we're gonna start winding down and all that. Like, you may not think that they like really know like what's going on, but they definitely do. They catch on, and it's so helpful. And the bath at night just, I feel like, helps to relax them, and that's how I got my baby to sleep through the night. And I hope this was at least a little bit helpful to some of you, any of you. I'm sorry that I don't really have any tips like as far as like breastfeeding, because I didn't go down that journey, so I unfortunately don't really have tips for that. And I know like breastfed babies tend to wake up more often during the night to feed, and I really wish that I had tips on that, but I don't. I'm sorry. But these were my tips and what we did to help our daughter sleep through the night, and it is what worked for us. And like I said, she was sleeping through the night at 4 weeks old and has not stopped since. She didn't really have a 4-month sleep regression at all. She had a little bit of an 8-month sleep regression, not waking up during the middle of the night, but it was harder for her to go to sleep for a couple weeks. And we're at 9 months now, so yeah. I really hope you guys like this video. Comment down below if you have any questions about anything. Reach out to me on Instagram or other social media, and I'll be happy to help answer any questions, and hopefully I can give you guys tips and tricks if I didn't answer anything in this video. But hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Alright guys, see you guys next time. Bye!